Please grab into my bag.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of creepy.
There's a square one of...
This is the one that's all worn out, and I don't know what it is, but it has a mirror, and it's really cute. Right?
Keeps them guessing.
You know what? One of these days, Roy, we're going to have to try makeup on you. I feel like it'll just really add to the little... I mean,
you
right?
think it's going to do any good?
I didn't say it would do any good, but it'll give our viewers
No,
a good laugh.
I mean, if you ever be on TV, they do that.
You think they put lipstick on the men, though?
Yes.
They put lip gloss. Not
yeah, well, I don't know.
Well, you know what? They probably do tint their lips.
They put something on your lip. You think I know
Damn
what the
it,
hell
Brad
I'm
Pitt.
talking about?
I thought those lips were natural.
But no, they do. They put something on there, and they frou-frou on your face.
I have nowhere to put this.
All that, powders and this and that. It's weird.
It's weird. Would you ever be able to do it?
I guess I could probably do it myself. It would. I mean, I guess if you did it enough, you'd get used to it. But it'd be kind of weird to do.
Like at first, huh?
Yes.
All right, we're going on Facebook.
We are.
You ready? Wrong mouse. This fly is going to be an issue during the show.
What is it with the bugs this year?
So ready.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday on IE Newswire on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and share us all over your world. And check out our Instagram too.
Oh, we're doing Instagram too?
I figured why not.
Of that, not that there's any news going on today. It's been just very quiet. Yeah, nothing. Just
nothing.
We'll probably be rambling on the show because there's just flat nothing to talk about.
There's not. Except for all the tears are cried today.
Oh well, no, it isn't like, at least by this time in 2016. We knew it was Donald Trump had won the presidency of the United States. It was over.
No, but then remember, didn't they find, I don't know which election this was, where they found like that mystery box with all the ballots? What year was that? Was that Biden or Obama?
No, that was Bush versus Gore, and where we had the big trouble in 2000 in Florida.
Last year there was like a whole box that was discovered.
Well, there probably was. There always is. And I've said that we'll get into that whole thing because it's on archives. I put it on there. I said they've been setting this election up to do that. And we know the count now. We just kicked over and found 100,000 ballots here. 114% of them are for Joe Biden.
Carla is pumped today.
I wouldn't be as rolled up on that. Let's get to this right in there. Flip me on number 4, please. So if you see that, Carla does, and she is for that. If you take the states right now that have been called for Biden and put that in on this map, this is from Associated Press, you would have a 270 Biden, 268 Donald Trump race. Two things. Nevada's only 8,000 out of over 1 million votes cast, and they're not updating to tomorrow. So we're not going to have any definitive that. I don't think the Georgia race or North Carolina, unless they're being called for Trump, are going to be called, and Pennsylvania as early as Friday if you're lucky of that. But the Trump campaign is fairly confident Arizona is going to go their way because there's 500,000 votes out. Fox News is claiming that we are...
See, but you know what? I saw someone had posted today from a Fox News shot where they had claimed that Biden won it, but Trump was in the lead by like almost 100. How can they do that?
That was the whole Michigan and Wisconsin thing last night, and we'll get into that. But I wanted to finish up on this. So if you take Arizona off the table of that, and we will see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a razor. It's going to be a razor thin margin, no matter how this thing shapes out. Trump pretty much has to have. He has to have Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia right now, which he's leading in, and he's either got to flip a Nevada or Arizona on the deal right now. So that's where we're at on some.
Neon Love Machine writes in on YouTube. He put that he tried to track his vote, and he was told that California will be counted in 3 more days, or his vote will be counted in 3 more days. He also states that he voted early in person, and it hasn't been counted yet. What do you think of that?
That could be depending on, it could be in a stack over there of maybe the signature. Maybe they want to look closer at the signature on that. Did he vote by mail or did he vote in person?
He said he voted early in person.
In person, and it hasn't been counted yet?
It has not been counted yet.
That's interesting. Which one? Riverside County, San Bernardino County, or where's the? Where is his jurisdiction county-wise?
I will let you know when he writes in and lets us know.
You've got that. It's and it's
in person at CSUN.
Well, yeah. Tell me what county. That's
L.A.
L.A. Oh, L.A. Well, that explains it. L.A. that could take like 6 months. L.A. is notoriously late on counting ballots, and they've been playing the game. And we'll have Susan Shelley on a little bit later. She's in L.A. County too.
Writes in on Facebook. How exciting is our democracy? Love it.
It's a love. Politics is a heck of a game of going on, but when you see that, it depends. It's it's going to be a tight race going on here for that, and I think that Arizona is going to update some of the results of coming in. So we'll see if there's any movement on that. Again, the Trump camp seems to be fairly confident when the end of the day comes, they're going to win Arizona by about 20 to 30,000 votes. Sources have said, so we will see how that goes. If Arizona flips back over, then it's a whole different ball game of that. Well,
Stephanie writes in on Facebook, Lord help us.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're gonna see. I mean, yeah. If you want to see,
I don't
what living in a third world country is like. We're gonna see it with Joe Biden.
I don't get why everyone's calling that he's already won. He hasn't.
No, he's not.
But people are saying that he's already won. I saw that earlier, and I'm
looking at the map. You got to get to 270 on the Electoral College map, and he is not there. Even with Arizona right now, he is not there. Here's number 4. Take a look, folks. Joe Biden is not at there. If Nevada, which he's leading on, but they've not called, at least Associated Press has not called yet. They've called Arizona, but Trump is still insisting Arizona is in play, and some others have not called it on that, unless the election updates here coming in pretty soon, or I think they might have come in. Because we're back on regular time, because I see Associated Press just came out with that on that, so we will see. Let's see what's coming on in the state of Arizona. No, that still looks like the same numbers that we had earlier in the day. So, but sometime here, maybe before the show ends, we will see if they're updating the numbers and if they're moving right now. It's pretty much 51-48. Trump's got about 90,000 deficit right now in round numbers, and there's about 500,000 votes out. So Trump's got to win the existing vote by about 60-40 to close that gap, which is a hard pedal, but it's not out of the realm of possibility depending on where the vote is. Fox News was saying the vote is in the Phoenix area, which would tend to be more towards Biden. Trump campaign says there's a lot of vote out in the rural areas of that, and they say that they could win that. So look at that. Phoenix, they haven't called the Phoenix area if you look at the statewide map because it's in blue. They're saying Biden's leading, but he's not. They're not calling it there, at least in this one. So you see the outer edges, you see the center, you see Trump leading in the outskirts of Phoenix and in the eastern and most rural areas where they say there is a lot of this vote that hasn't been counted yet. And Governor Ducey, not Ducey. I bet you he's never lived that name down. How would you like to have a name like Ducey? I mean, you know, all as a kid and everything, you were called douchey, douchebag. That had to be not a fun childhood. I guess you either got tough or died with a name like that, kind of like the old Johnny Cash song, "A Boy Named Sue." But that is so. We'll see. We'll see if that. But really, if Trump holds, Trump's got to flip one. Trump's got to flip a state, either Nevada or Arizona, to win that Biden's leading, or Biden's got to win one of them, namely Nevada, or any of the others that are outstanding, and he's at 270 plus. So it's not over.
Carla writes in, this is so exciting.
It's that, and it may not, depending on how it is going. If let's say a Arizona flips, or Trump takes a lead in Nevada, or something, and then it might just come down to Pennsylvania, which Jonathan Turley, the esteemed scholar and Democrat, the law professor, constitutional guy, said last night. He said this looks like the worst case scenario comes down to, we're going to come down to it being the difference between who wins Pennsylvania. And he said, this is Jonathan Turley, a Democrat. He said the Philadelphia-Pittsburgh area is in Pennsylvania is so fouled up and rife with fraud, disaster. He says, this is like I have said, this is going to make Bush v. Gore look like tiddlywinks.
Who? Don't judge me.
Jonathan, what are you asking about, the tiddlywinks or
no.
Jonathan Turley?
That one.
Jonathan Turley is a Georgetown law professor who specializes in constitutional issues. He's on.
But why are you bringing him up?
Because he was on the TV last night, because that's part of his job. Is he's a commentator on this, and an expert. And for those of you that want experts, he's an expert in constitutional election law, how this stuff all works. So this was his comment. He said it looks like. He said, and he wrote about it, I think, a week ago. He said the worst case scenario is this thing comes down to who wins Pennsylvania, and it just might very well roll in the cards like that.
Stephanie writes in, what do you think will happen with the lawsuits with PA and MI?
Oh, who knows? I mean, and you ask about that, the 100,000, and that was both Michigan and Wisconsin. Late last night, and I fell asleep about 2:30, 3 o'clock last night.
You were up that late?
Yes.
Doing what? Watching the election? Look
at what time I posted the premiere last night. I think about 1:30 in the morning.
I was in bed by 9:30.
but no, it was on that, and and at about midnight last night, Trump had about 100,000 lead in both Wisconsin and Michigan. And all of a sudden, and it's going, man, it just goes boom, 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 boom. Down, 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 down. And by the morning, by 2:30, it had just flipped from Trump leading Wisconsin with like 90.
Oh, really quick. Neon Love Machine writes in on YouTube that Kelly is red now. He caught it right now. That California is now red.
No, it isn't.
He said he caught it live right now.
Yeah, well, put a link to that. I would like to see where Joe Biden won California by 2-1. There's a, I mean, Joe Biden is winning California by a greater percentage than Hillary Clinton. I think Hillary Clinton won California by 63% of that.
I don't know what to go to.
Of that. No, we'll pull it up here in a minute. But when you roll through the numbers on that and stuff, It's going to be a fantasizing race. But no, they called it, and then I got up. I was a little bit late. I got up about 6:15 this morning, and I'm waking up, and they're saying Michigan just flipped. Now Biden's leading.
Oh, he writes in on Facebook. He says, "No, I'm saying we are red, but they want you to believe it's blue as usual."
No, we've got a bunch of ding-dongs in California. I mean, this state is completely... I said, we are so far deep blue that we have to go into the bottom of the Pacific Ocean and start drilling to China. That's how blue California is. Biden is winning California almost 2-1. He's increased the percentage. He's getting more percentage in that. And Riverside County, just 2 years ago. Well, Hillary won in Riverside County, but John Cox, a Republican nominee for governor, actually won Riverside County. And Joe Biden is winning Riverside County now by about 50 or 60,000 votes over Trump. So, no, California is the cancer of California. Texas, Trump... Romney won by 14 points. Trump won by 8. Trump's winning Texas by 6. Look at Arizona. Romney won by 10. I think it was 5. And now, as of right now, Joe Biden is leading Arizona by 3 points. I have told you. Look at Georgia. Georgia's going to be close, deep in the heart of the South of America, and that has been staunch Republican country since 1980, since the Reagan Revolution, and the Bow-Weevil Democrats moved from Democrat to Republican. The Southern Democrats abandoned the Democratic racist party that Joe Biden still belongs to, and they started going Republican. Georgia has been a staunch, but I've said, where have the places that people from California have moved to? Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona. And as you've seen that net migration out of California into those areas, you are seeing those states now turning. Texas and Georgia now are officially purple, trending blue. Arizona is now blue, as it looks like, or maybe they could have 2 Democratic senators on the federal level coming out of Arizona after this election, because the Democrat is leading pretty good, even by a more percentage than Biden is leading Trump right now. So Arizona is officially a blue state after 2020.
Do we know at all how many votes Kanye West got?
Probably not. I haven't seen most of the.
Well, like people on the ballot like that, will they not share how many votes?
Well, yeah. Usually they.
I'm just curious.
If
really, how many people
got
voted
32 votes as president or that, they usually don't worry about printing that until you get official. You would have to go and look at the official Secretary of State sites in every state, because they're not going to publish a guy that gets 32 votes nationwide.
Hey, are we going to cover the local politics from Moreno Valley?
We'll get to that. What time we got? Yeah, let's roll up. That's what I was going to do, because we had Neon Love Machine asking about that. So let's see if we can see Secretary of State. We'll roll up some of the the California. We'll take a quick peruse.
What about like Moreno Valley's mayor and everything?
We'll do that. Just
really?
Hold your horses.
I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Of that. Let's go with president since Neon. Like 65.2% for Joe Biden for president of the United States in California. Donald J. Trump 32.9. So almost 2/3, 1/3 of that. And see, that's how you find out. Like Kanye probably wasn't on the ballot here, but you see the smaller party candidates, Rogue Rocky, De La Fuente, Guerrera got 0.3%, 33,000. Joe Jorgensen from the Libertarian Party got 107,000, almost 1%. Yada, yada, yada. So you would have to find Kanye. You'd have to find where they were actually counting his vote. All 32 of them, wherever they are at, that he might have gotten on the ballot somewhere on that. Let's check the close contest, because that's something that we did. Jose Medina, Richard Roth, and Sabrina Cervantes from this area, all comfortable leads on that. Yes. And Cliff Cummings mentioned that the Mike Garcia Christy Smith race, which was a House race in L.A. In the L.A. Northern L.A. area, and Mike Garcia, who won in the special election, looks like he's behind by about 1 point over Christy Smith. She beat her in the runoff where they had the special election, where that ding dong the chick that was running the threesome with the gay, with the lesbian stuff going back on her husband and stuff, got kicked out or resigned, didn't get kicked out.
The pool guy?
Yeah, was that the pool? No, I think that was another one. No, that was a campaign staffer or something. And yeah, remember they were doing the makeup in the nude when all that sort of hairstyle cutting in the nude. Anyway, that looks like it might be flipping back. But 2 Orange County seats now. The Gil Cisneros Young Kim, the Republican, is leading by 0.5%. So is Michelle Steele over Harley Rhoda. So there might be one flip. One thing, and a local race. This is shocking. Rosalie Bowe is actually 200 votes behind Abigail Medina. And this is an area like Yucaipa, Calamasa, all across Redlands into San Bernardino. But it's been staunch Republican territory for the state Senate. Mike Morell's represented that for, I think, 12 years or 8 years or something. It's been staunch Republican Party. Right now, the Democrat has a 200-point lead in that statewide Senate race. So that's one's really, really, really close on that. So that's some of that. Oh, Prop 13 or Prop 15, the big one. We'll have Susan Shelley update that one coming up. It's winning, but only by 51.5%, or the no vote, as I would say, winning. The no vote, which means no destruction of Prop 13, is winning, or is up 51.5%. It's still probably too close to call, but we'll get Susan Shelley because she'll have all the latest and greatest information in that, since she's vice president of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. And that will, and I'm sure she is tracking that along with John Coppell and all the crew over there.
She will have all the info
going on that. So she'll get us updated on that situation on that. So let's pull up our Riverside County election results before I get hit.
Why would you get hit?
Because
by me?
Yeah.
Is that an offer? I'll take it. I'll take it.
There's the president. See, Joe Biden's up, about 40, 50,000 votes right now over Trump in Riverside County. And like I say, in 2018, John Cox actually won Riverside County. So that's how deep blue we are going here. Let's roll through some of them. There's down in the lower desert, Raul Ruiz, a very comfortable lead over Aaron Cruz. 41st District, Mark Takano, again, about 2-1 over Aja Smith. Ken Calvert, still probably going to win, but again, he's much close, probably the closest margin he's had. I say he's not got much in, but he will probably win that. That was the old Cunningham seat that he resigned in, that State Senator 23rd. There's the part that we are. Bo's actually leading in Riverside County, part of it, but as we showed you, the whole district, which includes San Bernardino and Riverside County, Abigail Medina is actually 200 votes ahead in a razor. Then that race is going to go right down to the final count. The odious Richard Roth is going to retain the 31st Senate District seat over Rod Taylor of that. So again, this area is hosed on that. Chad Mays goes back over Andrew Kotyuk, San Jacinto councilman. So turncoat Chad Mays, who sold us down the river on the gas tax cuts, and that is going back. So see how you are in that 56th district of that. The Democrat is leading 2-1. Here you go, State Assembly District, which was very competitive. Billy Asali only lost by about 3 or 4 points, but Chris Rahigi looks like he's losing by about 16, looks like 58-42. So that's going to stay in Democratic control. Our good bud, Ali Missouri, again, is losing about 2-1 over Jose Medina on the deals, so that's safely. You put Jose Medina back in charge in Riverside, Moreno Valley, Paris area, so you deserve what you get on that. You had a good choice to turn this around second time, and you didn't do it. That state assembly. Let's run through the in the school board races here. If you want to go for Moreno Valley, didn't look like a lot of it. It looks like both Daryl Peden and Susan Smith will be returned to their seat. Looks like all the incumbents won, no matter where you're going on that deal. There you go. There's Susan Smith over Ashley Rivera. Big margin there. But look at the pathetic amount of votes. There's probably about, I'm going to say in that, there's probably 20,000 registered voters. And of this, there's only 3,000 now with half the vote counted. So there's only going to be about 6,000 votes. It's going to show how much the turnout is in the 5th district, which basically most of the north side, north of the 60 freeway. Daryl Peden's got a big lead over Roosevelt Williams, Andrew Young. And the former seat holder, Evan Morgan, is rolling up last in the pack. And you see how much difference the vote total is in the northern side. Almost over 2-1 in the north side versus the Edgemont area. So,
how do you know that, though?
I'm just looking at the vote total.
Oh, okay.
There's less than 3,000 in District 1, or Trustee Area 1, where Susan Smith is, which is the Edgemont area, and the northern area of that
because
has
you have
got
to be,
over 6,000.
Do you have to be in their district to be able to vote for them?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually in the 5th TA district of that in Riverside, or in Moreno Valley Unified School District. So that was on. But that just goes to show you how much that Valverde, Marla Kirkland over Stacey Guzman out here on that. Oh, I wanted to cover this because we've had Jeff Hewitt on, our 5th district supervisor, and he got elected 2 years ago in 2018 when he wasn't supposed to win that. But look at this. Calamasa City Council, vote for 3. They run no districts. Linda Molina is first. Wendy Hewitt, name sound familiar, is second and in the seat. And William Davis third. So all 3 of them look like they're going to be seated as city council. And Wendy Hewitt is the wife of the aforementioned 5th District Supervisor. So congratulations to Wendy Hewitt for winning a council seat where her husband, Jeff Hewitt, started out in politics as a councilman, then mayor of Calamasa, the second smallest community, I think about 8,000 people out here. And now Wendy Hewitt's going to represent...
She's a sweetheart, too.
The good people of the city of Calamasa in that. So we'll be looking for good things. A good freedom-loving, libertarian-style candidate won a city council race. So that is very, very, very good news on that, to go with Larry Smith up there in Calamasa and the whole crew up there that have done a really fine job of that, of running their little small town, probably better than any other town in Riverside County, of going on that. Run on that. City Council race Hemet, we covered that with Eddie George a lot on that. Malcolm Lowenthal looks like he's got a pretty good lead, but of that in District 1. In District 2, Joe Males looks like he's going to win District 4. Hemet Treasure looks like it's going to be Gladys Savage in there. And let's roll up to the that Jurupa Valley City Council. Mike Goodwin looks like, he's got a lead, but Guillermo Willie Saliva's not out of the question. Leslie Altamirano has got a good lead. Lake Elsinore. Steve Manos is going to be returned, good friend of mine. That Natasha Johnson, the great mayor of that, or city councilwoman, is going to go back. Bob McGee again is that, so Lake Elsinore looks pretty good. Menifee Mayor Bill Zimmerman's got a big lead on that. Moreno Valley City Council, Victoria Baco with a commanding lead of over 2-1 over LaDonna Jemsum, who held the seat. It went from Baca to Jemson to Baca, so this time they ran again, and and Victoria Baca is cruising to victory on that. David Marquez has got about a 230 vote lead over Rafael Begueras in City Council District 3. So barring any big turnaround on that, even with that, I'm going to say it's pretty safe. Maybe not 100% ironclad, but probably about a 9 in 10 chance David Marquez holds on to that council seat in District 3 in Moreno Valley.
Great
on that.
council member.
Of that. Another one, Lori Stone, sister of the aforementioned Jeff Stone, who's been senator, councilman, and working for the Trump administration lately, has got a big lead in the Murrieta City Council race. So that's some good news there locally. Going back and forth on that. City of Palm Springs Parish Mayor Michael Vargas goes back on that. One of them, San Jacinto City Councilman. This is a surprise. Russ Utz, who's been a councilman for a long time, looks like he's not going to make it. He ran, I think this is his third term. There's 3 votes. Brian Hawkins, who we interviewed on the show, looks like he's going to be in along with Crystal Ruiz and Phil Alea. So but that's kind of surprising. Russ Utz, I thought, was pretty popular down there, but it doesn't look like he's going to be returned to another term as in the city council down there. Wildemar, Bridget Moore, big lead there. Let's see, I wanted to get to one of the things that
30 seconds.
Romaland, another school bond, the only school bond locally that was up in Romaland was it looks like it's going to go down to defeat. So that's a what I would call good news. Yes, no, that's Rancho Cucamonga, Rancho California, and then we got the propositions
At 5 seconds
of going. So
the following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Monday at 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire, joining our video audience that tunes in every Monday through Friday live at 5 on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share us all over your world.
yes,
And check out our Instagram page.
Again, looks like the update, Biden's leading Trump 264 to 214 on the Electoral College map of the states that have been called. There's some controversy of that. If it holds like it is and they call that, if Biden wins Nevada, which we won't get an update till tomorrow on that, he would get to 270. It would be 270, 268, and Joe Biden would be president, but there's still a long way to go. Trump campaign is still confident they can flip Arizona or possibly Nevada, and then that would put the race back in play. If Trump holds his leads in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, and can flip one of Nevada and Arizona, it will be Trump. The path to election is probably favoring, I'm going to say 60-40 right now, favoring Joe Biden, but it's no way a lock or that, or even if they declare that, I'm going to say by Thursday or Friday, we might not even know. The vote count won't come in by Pennsylvania on that, but even Arizona, we won't be close or where you can call it. In Arizona, I don't think by Friday, but the sources are telling me that in the Trump camp right now, they're fairly confident that they are in the ultimate, at the end of the day, when the last vote is counted, they're going to win the state of Arizona by about 30 or 40,000 votes. So we shall see. It's been a raucous election.
Are you
cycle.
nervous?
No, it's
Are you confident he's going to win?
I'm not. No, I've said right now, if I'm giving odds, I'm saying Biden 60-40, he's going to win.
Do you think so?
I said 60-40. I mean, I would say right now is the way the map stacks, and roll that up on 4 with that. If it holds, and if he does outright hold Arizona, and he's leading in Nevada, and he holds that, he's at 270. And that's all you need. 270 plus, and you've won the Electoral College. Trump could win the other Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, and he's got 268. So from that standpoint, it is what it is on that. So like the odds right now are stacking in Joe Biden's favor, to be honest, with the what's going on for the deal. And but we shall see. It's going to be a very interesting race all across the board on that. But we're going to get hopefully Susan Shelley up here pretty soon to do that, because the ballot propositions, and we went through that, and those of you that want to get our take on the state and local elections going on, we did that, and you can review that. There are a couple of surprises in there, but not very much going on. But I'm going to roll up on the propositions while we're doing that on that. Give me number. Thank you. That number 4. Bonds. The stem cell bonds is winning. Yes, about 51. That property tax, Prop 15, is the no vote, which means they're not going to cut. Prop 13 is leading 51.7 to 48.3. So it's got a lead. I would wish it would be more than that at this particular point. I don't know if anybody's called it. I don't know if I would call it yet on that. But to fill us in on the elections, Trump, Prop 15 low or in the state of California, and everything else. We're going to have our longtime guest back on the show that we've had many for years now on that. She's the editorial writer for the Press Enterprise, San Bernardino Sun, Inland Daily Bulletin, and Redlands Daily Facts. But even in my mind, more important, Vice President of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, Susan Shelley. Welcome to IE Newswire with Steph and Roy.
Thank you, Roy. Hi, Steph.
So we'll get to Prop 15.
How are you, Susan?
Yes. We'll get to Prop 15 here in a minute. But the whole thing on that, I want to get to Arizona. I don't know. They said they were going to update that pretty soon on that, but they didn't get the final count. My sources in the Trump campaign, they're saying they're going to flip Arizona, and that ultimately when the final vote count is it's going to be about a 20 to 30,000 point Trump win, where Biden is leading by 3 points. There's about 500,000 votes out, so it's not out of the realm of possibility if he wins that 40-60. Is there a possibility? Because Trump's either got to flip, the way I'm seeing it, Trump's either got to flip Arizona and Nevada to win it and hold the ones he's leading.
I guess so. You know, I can't quite follow all the mathematical probabilities and possibilities, but certainly nobody's called the race yet. So it can happen. It's frustrating that it was this close. I didn't think it would be, and I'm disappointed that so many people in the country could look at Joe Biden and say, yeah, that's my guy. I'm disappointed at that.
Well, we've talked about it, and you've been really on the election. Let's, if not fraud, the overvoter registrations, and we had the whole mail-in ballot thing. I would really like to do. I think somebody should do, or we should do, a public records request on how many ballots were actually sent out versus how many registered voters there are in California, because the amount of people that got 2 and 3 ballots is amazing in this state. Yes, this one over here of doing it.
I only used one, though, for the record.
But yes, but I will say this, and I was up, late last night, and then, Trump was, about 10, 11 o'clock. Trump's got a lead of about 100,000 in Michigan and Wisconsin at about, I think it's about 2:30 when I dozed off this morning, of that it had just flipped 100,000 votes in about 3 hours in in Wisconsin, and almost the same in Michigan. When I get up at about 6:15 this morning and I'm listening, and Michigan just flipped to Biden, and he's been widening his lead. I think they've had this set up. I think they've known they've had boxes of ballots sitting there at the right time in the right places to do this, because when you got 95% of the vote and have it flip that quickly, that's suspect in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say,
Yeah,
Susan?
there are a lot of things that appear to be suspect, and certainly everyone knew where this election was going to be decided, and everyone could be ready for it. In 2016, there were fairly narrow margins in some of these states, so it's no surprise if people were ready to find blank ballots, fill them out, put them in a box, and wait. It's certainly not beyond the realm of possibility. It's an old political trick in America to do ballot box stuffing. It's nothing that's unheard of. It can happen if you have a close election. Close elections can be stolen, and certainly Trump seemed to think that was going to happen, and he was there at 2:30 in the morning at the podium saying it did happen. And I hope that the scrutiny is sufficient to prevent the worst of the possibilities from becoming reality. I don't really know, but it's certainly a close election, and whichever way it turns out, half the country is going to believe it was stolen. This is going to be 4 years of, like a divorce. One of my friends said, like a divorced couple forced to live in the same house.
Of that, and yes, that's a good analogy of that. Yeah, after the divorce is final, you still have to live in the same facility of that and do that, and that's about. And I think that's going to be the way they go. But that was the first thought when I heard this whole mail-in ballot thing was being proposed and passed all across the country this year. And then we started to see the evidence of 2 and 3 ballots, and ballots of people that hadn't been lived there for 20 years showing up at a residence. And,
Ballots for their dogs.
yeah, and on, dead people and everything else. And you've covered that in L.A. County and across Southern California, how we've had 141% registration in L.A. County of the registered voters and that. So the system was ripe for gaming, not only here, and has been for that, but for everywhere else. And they put the tools in place to make it happen. And I'm like 98.7% convinced, no matter what it was, because Trafalgar, the pollster that's probably got most of this right, said Trump is going to have to win Pennsylvania by 3+ points just to be in it, just because of voter fraud. And that's probably going to be the case.
I think that's true. Close elections leave you very vulnerable to having it stolen. And they did put things in place that are, just as you said, the tools to do it if someone is inclined to do it. For instance, in California, they're not going to require postmarks on the envelopes that are returned for 17 days after Election Day. So the requirement that it has to be postmarked by Election Day can be defeated by someone just scribbling 11/3/20 on the ballot, signing it, putting it on a note card. It doesn't even have to be on a ballot. It can be on a napkin, stuffed in an envelope, sent back.
Yeah, you could show up with a semi-truck full of trailer of ballots with that type of system of that.
Yes, you could.
And
they're not really verifying, and it's easily manipulated.
Not that they had to do it much in California, or maybe it just kept the majority or that. It looks like we're going to maybe flip a couple in Orange County. The Mike Garcia, which is kind of surprising, is down in the LA County, the congressional ones. But I want to get to the ballot propositions, because if there isn't, between you or John Copal, nobody's probably going to know how we're standing on Prop 15. It looks like, 51.7% no on that, which looks good. I'm not as confident like at the bonds when we were coming out at 55% at this time. But where do you see it? How comfortable are you that no on 15 is going to hold?
Well, I'm not really comfortable at all. We don't know how many unprocessed ballots there are in California. You know, people think about the voter fraud with the presidential race, but these other races,
Yes.
there's a lot at stake. And certainly, if there are 3 million unprocessed ballots statewide, and there are a total of about 11 million ballots cast in this race, another 3 million, one way or the other, could certainly turn it, because there's only a difference here of about 400,000 votes between the yes side and the no side. So if there are 3 million unprocessed ballots statewide, and who knows, we'll find out tomorrow, I understand. It was supposed to be today, but I understand we'll find out at the end of the day tomorrow. It only needs to pick up 400,000 net, and it would be ahead. And Proposition 19, which is currently ahead, the same thing could happen the other way. It's too close to call.
Right.
So it does look like Proposition 21, the rent control measure, went down to a sound defeat. I don't think that's going to resurrect. And it does look like Proposition 22, which is a good thing, passed.
Yes.
To protect the right of app-based drivers to work as independent contractors and not have to lose their job because they would have to wait to be hired as employees, and maybe that wouldn't happen and they wouldn't be able to work. So that's a good thing that passed.
Yes.
But it's everything else. Everything that's close could shift, because we've never before mailed out 21 million ballots to every registered voter, supposedly to every active registered voter, but we know that's not the case. We've never done this before, so we don't know how long it's going to take for the ballots to come in, because we don't know how overwhelmed the post office is, and we don't know how long it's going to take to process them, and we don't know where they're going to be from, which district for all the local district races. We don't know. Anything could happen.
The only thing that gives me hope, and this was kind of a stunning thing to me, all the vote that was counted prior to the election day yesterday, except for North Dakota, went Joe Biden's way. Now, on poll day yesterday, Trump won every state, including California. The only state Joe Biden won on poll day yesterday was the state of New York. So that that gives me a little bit of hope that hopefully the late vote, which was
but you know what? But then that means everybody voted before all that news came out.
But yeah, but the late vote seems to be the earlier the vote, more is trending toward Biden. The later vote is trending toward Trump, Republican, conservative on that. So that the only thing I'm hanging my hat on, and hopefully the no on 15 will, is more people that were inclined to vote no on 15 voted late versus early.
That certainly could be the case. And particularly if they filled out their mail ballot, brought it physically to the polls and dropped it off, it would be counted very late. If they went to the machine, it would be counted earlier. But if they dropped off the mail ballot,
right,
that would have to be verified after all the other votes are counted. The last thing they do is the provisionals. That's people who go to the polls and they're not registered correctly and they get a provisional ballot. But before that, they're doing those late absentee ballots. So it certainly could be the case that the later we go, the redder we get. Could be. And
what was surprisingly is that was like monolithic throughout 49 of the 50 states, which to me was stunning. That the last vote possible swung almost 180-degree opposite from the vote that started in the beginning.
Well, if that's the case across the country, then the late votes that are counted in all these states, Arizona, Nevada, all of these states, will be more red, because it will be the Republicans going to the polls and dropping off their ballots, and those will be counted late.
And that's why I think Trump does have a maybe a 40-60 shot of flipping either Arizona or Nevada, because in Nevada's case it's a razor thin, only 8,000 votes out of over 1 million, and there's 500,000 votes left in Arizona, so there's within the realm of possibility that he could flip one of those two states on that, even though Joe Biden still holds a lead in both of those states. So again, it's not it's not over yet. Nowhere across the board, there's still a lot of question marks as we go forward in this.
Just we need an entire month
Yeah.
of civil unrest while we wait for the result that half the country will think is fraudulent. This is just awful.
Yes.
Just awful. This is a comedy script. The worst possible thing at every juncture has to happen in order for the comedy to go forward, but this isn't funny. This is trouble.
And it what else would you expect in 2020? I mean,
Exactly.
Right, you are. I guess it is funny.
yeah. I mean, really, I would almost. That's why I said, I was less confident this year that Trump was going to win than I was in 2016, and most everybody thought it was a coronation of Hillary Clinton, of that. But I was less confident in 2020 just because, not only because of all the things I'm seeing, like with all that, but just because of the chaotic year of 2020 where, what can happen has, it seems like.
It has. Well, if heaven forbid Joe Biden winds up in the White House, it's going to roil California politics because a lot of people will wind up in the administration appointed from their various state positions. And that will open up a lot of jobs that wouldn't have been opened up. So there could be special elections, and then there could be chaos from that. So
yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me of that of what's going on this whole thing, and even weird. I mean, it seems like even nationally, I think it's 7 House seats that we're picking up. It looks like the Senate's going to hold Republican on this, no matter which way the presidency goes. Which is like, again, it's like if Joe Biden is winning, he should be carrying, he should be picking up seats in the House. He should be flipping, because the margin was pretty thin. He should be flipping the Senate from Republican to Democrat, and that both of those don't seem to be happening. Which again is like, 2020, what is normally supposed to happen will not happen in 2020.
Well, you're right. That you would think that if he's winning, that he would be carrying more seats in the Senate. And it's true that Mitch McConnell was reelected and Lindsey Graham was reelected, and supposedly the country was so mad at them, right, for having hearings and for blocking judges and for whatever else they were mad at him about on the left. Mitch McConnell was reelected, and it wasn't close, and the same with Lindsey Graham. So.
And what did they do?
In the media are just misreading the country.
Oh yeah, and I think what did they pour? Was one of them might have been Lindsey Graham's race or something? They poured $100 million on the
What?
Democrat in that race of that insane. Democrats were spending stupid money all across this whole election
But do you
cycle.
think it helped them?
Well,
I
I think they were anticipating that, and I think they were anticipating if no matter what, by hook or by crook, as they used to say, they were going to win the hook or by crook, that they were going to win the presidency, and then that would legitimize what they were doing. All that they could drag all these other guys on, and again, as 2020, we have this chaotic thing going on of that, and I've said it, and I'm probably going to stick to it, and I think it's probably going to be right. Maybe we just had to go through this as in the United States in 2020 to it's either as in my theory or my
no one's learning anything.
Prognostication, or however that word goes. It's either we're going to the majority of us are going to pay attention and turn this thing around, or we're seeing us driving off the cliff to Venezuela.
Well, at the moment, California is on track for Venezuela, and I would like to see this. I would like to see the pendulum swing in this state, and I don't think it can happen unless the business community decides that they've had enough, and they want to back candidates who are conservative.
Yes.
If that happens, then there will be candidates who can win and will have the resources that they need to reach the voters in this state, and that can change it. But if the big, powerful interests, the association of everything in Sacramento, there are so many associations, if they decide that they're going to just play ball with Gavin Newsom and be destroyed by him and the legislature, then this is going to continue, because it's not possible to raise the resources to compete against that kind of money. It's just not possible. And if you can't reach the voters, look at what was spent to pass Proposition 22. $200 million.
Yeah.
Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash put $200 million. Do you know how long it takes to raise $200 million, $25 at a time?
Oh, yeah.
It can't be done. It can't be done. So if these business interests choose to say, we're done with this, we're done with the tax increases, we're done with the regulatory climate, we're done with these laws that let everybody sue us into the grave, if they decide they want more balance in the legislature, it will happen.
Yes, and you're
It's gonna have to
exactly
get pretty
right.
bad for that.
Yes, I've said that the business community, and that's the same thing. The next one I'm going to watch really close is a big theme park, Disneyland, Knott's, and all that. If they, if they start, with the threat of they're going to be closed down all of 2021, I don't see, especially like Disneyland. How are they? I mean, I just get this feeling if that happens, they're just going to say, we're done. We'll build it.
I really hope they don't, but I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah. And if we keep this mass exodus out, there's not going to be that $200 million there to bail us out, even if they wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. I think they should be doing a computer simulation of what the park looked like when they opened it in Phoenix. I really do. I think they should be putting out videos about how they could move to Albuquerque.
Yeah. That would not be a shocker if this thing still keeps up. Give you about 30 seconds to wrap it up. You always say, well, anything within reason. Its floor is yours.
Well, I just want to say that the legislature is going to be more tax grabbing than ever. They're retaining their supermajority in both houses, and it's probably going to get worse than it's been. So the most important thing is to watch for all of these tax hike proposals and all of these proposals that make it easier to raise taxes by changing how many votes you need to do it. All of these proposals are going to come back, and it's more important than ever to join the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association and stay aware and informed and alert to this so that you can pick up the phone and call and try to stop these things from happening before it's too late. So join hjta.org, hjta.org. It's only $15 a year, and you're a member, and we'll send you all the information, and you will be fighting for taxpayers in California, and we sure need you.
You got it. We'll do it again next week. Thanks, Susan.
Bye, Susan.
Thanks. Bye. Take care.
You too.
I think at the earliest we're to really have a somewhat definitive on who wins the presidency. I think it's going to be
But you know what?
as early as Friday.
Even if Biden wins, okay, I mean, we'll cry together, I think. But I would be I'm excited to maybe see what he can do. I mean, what if he wakes up one day?
Yeah, that would be stunning. Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe.
No, and we ran it on Newswire. We ran his like 10 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes. That's all he did. He made a little speech today of that. And I mean, the guy just looks like he's lost it. I mean, he's not there. And he folds
Right.
up his little book and he walks away a little with the old man shuffle of that. And he's looking like,
What if he wakes up?
yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God,
then,
we're so screwed.
yeah, yeah. That's
But no, really, I am.
That's the biggest endorsement.
We gotta stay a little positive.
For that. No, the
Oh, you're pointing at too many things.
but no, it's going to be interesting on the deal. But yeah, I think Friday by the earliest we're going. I mean, I'm anticipating it's not going to be anywhere close to definitive, or saying well now it's an 8 and 10 or 9 and 10 shot that either one of them's going to win. We'll cover it all on Newswire. We'll be back tomorrow, and until then,
We're gone.